Hello, how are you all? Welcome to this channel. I am Mary Tashidos. In today's class, we're going to make this beautiful Japanese-style bag step by step. Look how beautiful it is. We made it with 2 stitches, half double crochet and chain stitch. Look at this beautiful result. It's a simple, elegant, and very affordable bag. Look how spacious the bag is on the inside. We're going to be crocheting it with satin cord or rat tail cord because it's a very common material, and I know that in some places it's really hard to get t-shirt yarn, so I'm bringing you this option. See how the material looks really nice? It gives a beautiful finish, and it's not heavy at all. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming classes. Alright, without further ado, let's go to the list of materials and then to the step-by-step instructions. We're going to work with the following materials: scissors, measuring tape, a 3mm knitting needle. This one is for hiding threads. A 4mm knitting needle. This will be our main needle. A stitch marker, a yarn needle for sewing, a personalized tag with the channel's name. This one is optional. In today's class, we're going to work with this material known as satin cord, or rat tail cord. It is 2mm thick, and the roll comes with 144 yards, which is equivalent to 131 meters. You can get it at your online store, Tucson Sumos, with the reference gold number 1. We'll start with a slip knot. Here we adjust, and we're going to crochet 45 chains. We start with the crochet hook, yarn over, and slip it through this loop. Yarn over and slip like this. We're going to keep crocheting the chains. Look how they look. Yarn over. We're going to do this until we complete all 45. I've completed the 45 chains. Please make sure you have this amount. It measures 34 centimeters long. We make 2 more chains, 1 and 2 for a total of 47 chains. These last 2 will be our turning chains. We're going to turn the chain and work from the back where the bumps are. We pass the hook under each bump, starting at the 3rd one. We're going to leave these 2 because they're our turning chains. So under each bump, we're going to make a half double crochet. To start the stitch, we yarn over our hook and go under the 3rd bump. We yarn over. We pull up a loop. Now we have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through all 3. Here we have our first half double crochet. Yarn over again on the hook and go under the next ridge. Yarn over. We lift up, we have 3 left, yarn over again and close the stitch. We repeat the process again. We have 3, yarn over and close. This way, the stitches will look like this. Look, from the back side, we're going to work a half double crochet under each back bump until we get to the last one here. We're going to make the stitch here in the last ridge. And we're also going to work a little stitch here in the slip knot from the beginning. Look here where you can see the ridge. We take the back loop and pass the needle under it. We always keep the height at the level of the little ear that's on the hook, yarn over, and close the stitch. I finished the first round with 46 half double crochet stitches. We complete the last stitch, number 46, by working the slip stitch from the beginning. Let's work on the second round. I want you to pay close attention to this step because I'm going to explain how to make the first stitch. This stitch is a fake stitch. We're going to add height to this little ear. We're going to turn the piece. And here, we're going to make a 360-degree turn backwards. So, the needle, we're going to hold this little ear first with this finger, and we're going to turn our needle backwards. See, this is how it should look. We pass the hook through the center of the first chain, taking only the strand that's on the top, and we yarn over again, and we're going to pass it under these 2 loops. And here we have 2 loops left on the hook. We yarn over and finish the stitch. This is how our first faux stitch looks, and I'll explain the process again. We add height. We turn the piece. We adjust the little ear here on the hook. We turn the needle back, 360 degrees. We pass the needle through the center of the first chain. We tighten it. We yarn over. We pull through the first 2 loops. We give it height. We have 2 loops left. We yarn over and go through those 2. Here we have our first stitch. Half double. And look, it's a fake stitch. We yarn over the hook, and we're going to make the next one, passing the needle through the center of the chain. Here we're going to work by taking only the strand that's on the top. We're going to make the last stitch here. On this side, we're going to see another chain. We're not going to work this one because it's part of the turning chain from the first row, so we're going to work here in this last chain. And with this, we're going to complete the 46 stitches. Always make sure you have that number of stitches. Here, we've already finished row number 2 with 46 stitches. Let's pull up the loop. We turn the fabric over. And here we're going to make the stitch. Fake half double crochet. We adjust this ear with our fingers. Turn the hook back 360 degrees and go through the first chain. Here in the center, we yarn over, and here we're going to go through the first 2, 1 and 2. We give it height. We have 2 loops left on the hook. Yarn over and close. Here we have our first fake half double crochet. We're going to keep working half double crochets in the center of each chain until we reach the last one and complete all 46 stitches. We yarn over. We go through the center of the next one. And we make the half double crochet. We're going to make the last stitch. Look here where you can see the chain. You need to keep this in mind because sometimes it hides and you might skip it. So down here under the chain, there's a little bump, just so you keep that in mind. On top of the bump is the last chain. Go through the center of this one. And here you make the last stitch. When you finish the round, make sure you have 46 stitches so you're not missing or have an extra stitch. I finished the third round. Look at how the stitches look. I really like the finish that the material gives. Look how pretty it is. I'm going to work 2 more rounds to complete 5, and then I'll show you how we're going to continue. I finished the 5 rounds, and this is how the fabric is looking. Here you can see them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's make this little loop taller and turn the work. On this side, we're going to start the second block, and for this, we'll count 25 chains. Here we start on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. We place it. A marker. And here we should have 21 free chains left. Check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We are going to work half double crochets from this first chain until we reach the stitch where the marker is. We start here. False. Let's keep working until we finish the stitches. Let's make the last stitch, right here where the marker is. We insert the hook in the center of that chain. We've completed the first round of the second block, and here we have 25 stitches. Let's give this little ear some height and turn the piece. We make the initial stitch. And we continue working the 25 stitches until we reach this last one. We are going to make the last stitch of this row. I finished the second row of the center block. We are going to keep working back and forth, and I'll show you how many rows we're going to make. I completed the stitches in the center by making a total of 11 rows. Look how the fabric turned out. Here is the marker that shows us where we started. Here in the deep part is the first round. And where you see the high backhand, that's the second round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's do the third and final block. This is going to be our short handle. The first block we made is our long handle. Here we worked with 25 chains. And on this side, we left 21 chains. So keep this in mind when you work on the short handle. You need to divide the chains you left on this side. There are 21 here. That means on this side, I need to chain 11. If you leave 30 chains on this side, here you should make 15. Always half of the stitches you leave here. We go to the last stitch in row 11. We're going to work chains here. We have a little loop on the hook. We yarn over and pull through this loop. Here, we're going to make a total of 11 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to make 2 additional chains. and this will be our turning chain. We're going to place a marker here on this side so we know that's where we started the chains. It's important because when we close, we'll use this marker as a guide. We're going to turn the chain and work from the back where the bumps are, starting at the third bump. We skip 1 and 2, work in the third, yarn over the hook, and pass the needle under the bump. Here, and we make our first half double crochet. Yarn over, go under the next one. We are going to repeat this process until we reach the last ridge. This is how our knitting should look. Here we make 10 half double crochets, and here we have the last stitch. In this one, we're not going to work in the back loop, but instead we're going to straighten the knitting like this. Look, you can see the chain there. We're going to yarn over and go through the center of that chain. Look here where the whole chain is. We insert the needle through the center, picking up the yarn from the top. Here we make the stitch. So now we're going to join the stitches on this side and work them by passing the needle through the center of each chain. We go through the center of the next one. We make the stitch. In the center of the next one. Look, this way we've joined this side. Let's continue making the stitches until we get here to the last chain. Let's make the last stitch. Notice that it's the one next to this little ridge, so keep that in mind. Here we yarn over, go through the center, and now we finish the stitch. I finished this first row of the last block, and here I have a total of 36 stitches. We give height to the little ear and turn the work. We're going to start the second round, making the first half double crochet here. It looks a little difficult, but with practice, you'll find it much easier. Let's make the next stitch. The next one. We're going to work the last stitch here. Look, here you can see 2 chains on this side, but these are the turning chains from the beginning. This is the last stitch. Here we make them, and always make sure you have the right number of stitches at the end of each row. We're going to chain up from this loop and turn the work around. Here we've already completed 2 rows. We're going to keep working until we complete 5 rows, which is the same number of rows we did on this side of the handle. I've completed the 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is how this part of the piece looks. In total, we did 21 rows. I'll give you the final measurements. The long handle, its length is 36 centimeters. The short one, it is 26 centimeters. Wide, it is 5 centimeters. Wide, at the base, it is 22 centimeters. From where the marker is, the long handle has 16.5 centimeters. and the short one. Here you have 8.5 centimeters. Here in the middle of the markers, in the center, you have 10 centimeters. If you want to make the bag a little bigger, you start by making more chains. We started with 45. You can increase it depending on the size. Here, you always adjust on this side. You should have more stitches than the big chain. Here, you increase the rows depending on how wide you want it. And keep in mind that the short handle is always half the stitches you leave on this side. So you should adjust the proportions depending on the size of the bag you want to make. Let's go to the last stitch, and here we're going to cut the yarn. We should always burn it a little so it doesn't come undone. We pull the yarn from this side. With the help of a yarn needle, we're going to hide the yarn on this side of the stitches, right here at the bottom. We pass underneath of the back bump. Under the next one. We pass the thread through here, very carefully, so as not to break the material. And we hide it here, underneath these stitches. I've finished hiding the yarn here. When you finish at the bottom, you're going to put a drop of silicone to keep the yarn from coming out. You can use liquid silicone or fabric silicone. Cut the tip. And burn it. Don't forget to burn it so it doesn't come apart. Very carefully. We're going to do this same process with this strand. We finished this first piece. Look how pretty it turned out. With the same measurements and the same number of stitches, we have made the second piece. See, it's exactly the same. Let's arrange the piece properly, one on top of the other. And look, the measurements are the same. You can use either side as the right side, because the finish on both sides is beautiful. Now we're going to sew the seam. We're going to place these markers here along the same line of stitches. On this side, that's where we'll start stitching, on the same line. Here. Over here on this side. And so the piece doesn't get turned around, we're going to place a marker. Here at the first point. And here in the first chain on this side. We do the same on this side. We place a marker in the first chain. And here in the first one in front. For the sewing, we will be using a yarn needle. And we are going to cut a strand that is 1.5 meters long. We arrange the piece nicely so that we have one chain facing the other. We are going to start the seam at stitch number 13, passing the needle through. Look, here we can see the complete chain. In the center, taking the top strand, passing through the center of the one in front. Also taking the top strand. Here. We start from this side. We leave a tail to weave in later. Now we take the strand. Backwards. We pass it through the center of the chain. through the center of the one in front. We tighten it very well. We take the strand back again. We go through the center and through the center on this side. This way, we're going to work on the seam. Go through the center of each chain stitch until we get here to the last one. This is how our seam is looking. We're going to make the last stitch here. We go through the center of the chain and through the center of the one opposite it. We are going to sew at the base. And here we can see what we have. Bumps, strands, strands, bumps. Look here. They look irregular. Let's pass the needle through. Here on this side, under the bump. And here in the center of these two. Here we can see another strand. We go under this strand again. Under the next strand. Here. Under this one. Under each strand. Let's do it. A seam. Here. We move the thread to the back and pass it under the first one. Again to the back. Here we can see the other one. Here are two. We take the one on this side and here. Here. We finished the seam on this side. Now we're going to work here. And here we're going to do the same process. We pass the needle through. Under the first strand, in the center of the chain stitch, and in the center of the one in front. We finish it off well. We do the same on the other one. And that's how we're going to sew it, until we get here, where the marker is. I finished the seam. Now, let's weave in the loose ends, from the bottom part of the stitches. As I explained before, I've already hidden the yarn ends. We're going to sew here on the cuff. We remove the marker. We'll repeat the same process on the bottom part. We pass the needle through. Here's the starting chain. In the first strand. And here in the last one. Here under this strand. Let's tighten it. Here in this space. Look, there's a little chain here. From below. And underneath the one that's in front. Always tightening it well. Now we go through. On the big strand. Look here. Here, under the little chain. Here, on this side. Under this space. And here in front. We tighten the strand well on both sides. And now we're going to hide it. Here we open the handle a little bit. And we're going to join these two chains. Look, here we made the last stitch on this side. We go through here in the center of this chain. Here in the center of this one. That's where we join it, and we're going to hide the strand underneath the stitches. We tighten it very well. And we pull. We cut the strand. We burn the tip. We finished hiding the strand. We'll do the same thing on this side. Like over here, we go under the entire chain stitch. Now, look, both ends of the chain stitch are joined together there. We hide the thread on the bottom, just like we did on the other side. And I had already done this same seam on this handle. Look how it turned out! We finished all the stitching. Now, let's turn it inside out. And let's arrange the piece nicely. And this is how the seams look. Look where we've made the seam. And now, see how well finished it looks. From the bottom part, look at the base, and you can't see the seam. Here on the handles. I'll give you the final length measurements. On the largest handle, it measures 33 centimeters. In the center of the piece, it measures 17 centimeters, and the short handle, it's 26 centimeters wide. It's 22 centimeters. I've already finished the whole process, and this is how our bag turned out. Here, I put the nameplate on it, personalized with the name of the channel. This is optional. Notice that it doesn't have any other hardware, but if you want to add something else, that's up to you. Let's arrange it. We take the long handle and pass it through the short one, like this. And this is how this bag turned out. Look how beautiful it is. All the details and finishes. On the inside, it turned out pretty spacious. Let me show you some things we can store. And there's still room left. We put our phone inside. And look, we can even fit another one. The keys, some makeup, the pen, and there's still enough space. Look how beautiful it is. And the bag didn't turn out very heavy. Honestly, the material feels pretty light. We didn't even use up the whole roll. It takes a little less than a roll. I really like the finish it gave the bag. Look, it's very pretty. It feels a little loose. And honestly, that's the effect. That's what I like most about this bag, because it's a relaxed kind of bag. But at the same time, it's very elegant. I love it, and I hope you do too, and that you try it out. If so, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment as a sign of appreciation. See you in the next class. God bless you. Bye.